Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are saying hello to the Charles Martel. And this was one of the few games that I thought was good, because it actually does prove a point that even though you may think you have won, it could easily have swung a different way. We'll see as we go on. Now, my first battle with the Charles Martel was kind of bad. I pretty much was thrown in tier 10, and that's obviously sucks when you're a stock Charles Martel stock cruiser, so your range is limited. You don't have all the benefits of the upgraded version. Now, I think the Charles and as well as the Choppy and the Megami are one of the better, well, even a hipper. Pensacola's, no. Yeah, I with those three, I definitely the Choppy and the Charles are probably going to be the better of the two as far as actually competing with tier 10, because I did have one match where I was the only cruiser on the entire teams, on the friendly and the enemy team, only cruiser, and still was able to survive and help out. So especially once you get the range upgrade, it's going to prove very beneficial. But let's quickly take a look at the teams we were playing on Shards. We have a New Mexico Bayern, New Orleans, Charles Martel, Pensacola, Cleveland, Alba, two Bensons, a Kiev, Shiratsuyu, and a Shinonome. On the enemy team, there is a Bayern, Fuso, New Orleans, Megami, Indianapolis, Miyoko, Grashpe, Kagero, Ognavoy, Loyang, Mahan, and a Sims. And as you can tell, it's quite destroyer heavy right now. Really destroyer heavy. About a third of the entire teams are made of destroyers, and we can obviously see the Ognavoy and the Loyang. Now, the Charles Martel, it doesn't have the quickest reload rate. It's not the worst. Once you get her upgraded, you can actually drop that reload rate down to 10 seconds. But one of her most major strengths, besides obviously the fire chance and shots off at this New Orleans, let's see if we actually land on. I'm not certain if we do. The obvious thing that truly is beneficial is that speed boost. That speed boost can save your life time and time again. So that's actually not good right there. Lost the Benson to Loyang Torps. Yeah, definitely not good. And it looks like the enemy battleships are pushing in. Destroyers on the enemy team are actually doing a really good job. They're penetrating our Kiev. Our Kiev is doing his best. The Kiev did get a buff due to the fact it is now a tier 8. But getting focused down like this is not very fun. Now, obviously, the Charles Martel has kind of a slow load rate, and yeah, that's kind of difficult when dealing with enemy destroyers. Your guns do have a punch, don't doubt that, but it just does take a little bit of time to reload, and you are limited to how many guns you do have. I almost dropped torpedoes here too, which would have been very bad for our friendly Shiratsuyu. Looks like the Loyang is using Hydro, one of the few or better yet, one of the only premium destroyers that do have Hydro. Obviously, the German destroyers do have Hydro, and obviously he's currently spotting us running around in that smoke screen, and more than likely has his torpedoes up and ready, so it's actually a good idea to actually pull away, and we run right into another smoke screen. There's so many smoke screens going on right now. So we're going to be running in and out of smoke screens. Switch our attention over to the Bayern. Might as well try to assist and get another fire. Very nice. It looks like the Loyang popped up, and I really do want to get rid of these destroyers. Destroyers can prove very beneficial for a friendly team against the enemy. Obviously, they offer those torpedo drops as well as additional fires and smoke screens. So yes, taking out a destroyer is very important. And Charles Martel, once again, pretty good guns, but as you can see, we're not doing so hot on our team. We have lost 4 ships to their now 2. We should be able to take out this Loyang. Loyang at this low health, yeah, we should be able to take out. And once again, the French cruisers have the issues with their steering gears getting knocked out. Now, the enemy team have pushed down from sea. Sims is opening up. There's also the Mahan, and I believe the other I believe it's the Kagero. Yes, it is. The Kagero is also over there, but we don't know this yet. But he's over there as well. We do have two friendly battleships that, as you can see, are kind of sitting further back. They haven't taken a lot of damage, and it looks like we have attracted the attention, I think, of the Grashpe. This is one very good commander skill to have on a lot of ships. It's nice to have it on the French cruisers because it does allow you to know when you're being focused on and when you need to turn away as quick as possible. So highly recommend it. And it looks like we now have two. Oh, good lord. We're just not very popular right now, are we? Grashpe is opening up. Grashpe does have the Scharnhorst guns, but it looks like he is using high explosive, so we should be able to take very minimal amount of damage to get a fire, but we're going to quickly knock that out. We have actually dragged ourselves back from a deficit of 4 ships. Now we're even with the enemy team. They have lost one of their battleships, which is actually really good. That's definitely one less major powerhouse that could pump out those shells. Get a fire on this Indianapolis. And don't see the Indianapolis all too often. It's definitely a little bit more popular than the Perth, but do get a kill. That is kill number 1. And now it's time for destroyer hunting. And as you can see, our friendly battleships are not having the best of luck right now. Honestly, they are not. And obviously, there are 2 USN destroyers, and USN destroyers have actually really good smoke. It lasts for a very long time. There's a low health Sims that is currently being spotted by the friendly New Mexico. Now our friendly team is actually pushing up. We do have, I believe, a Cleveland. Actually kind of curious. This Cleveland is actually pushing up against this Grashpe and goes down to torpedoes and the Fuso. And unfortunately, shots out, but all collide into the island. And there is the enemy Kagero, probably wanting to get torps off on this New Mexico. Don't know if he knew I was around, and does a instant smoke screen. This is the oh shit smoke screen, and proceeds just to continue on. Now, I mean, this does prove beneficial for your friends, but if you're trying to hide personally, you don't want to just continue zooming out as quick as possible. Shots are out. Gotta be careful. Kagero does have torpedoes. More than likely, he will be probably dropping them. There is also still the Sims and the Mahan still around. They also probably will have torpedoes available. Looks like he outran his own smoke screen, and shot went a little long there. Now, the torpedoes I dropped are not gonna hit anything, but they are just useful all the same, just in case you might get lucky. Now, one major issue, as you can see right now, as I was turning there, I actually had issues with the guns staying on target. Yeah, that kind of did suck. But we got the kill on the Kagero. Sims is now 3-ish kilometers, and yep, there are the torpedoes, and kill number 2. And that took out, well, almost took out all the remaining destroyers. Obviously, there's still the Mahan right here, and we did spot him, and he did slide back into a smoke screen, but yeah, obviously with that smoke screen, he cannot see us, we cannot see him, so that does allow us to get a little bit closer. Now all we have to do is hopefully wait for a smoke screen to actually dissipate, and hopefully we can actually get a kill. Now our team's doing a fantastic job. We've taken out the majority of their team. All that's left is the destroyer and the cruiser, and the smoke screen is gone. The Mahan is not opening up. Now I'm gonna actually slow this up and talk about something. Now, once again, look at the teams. We have 2 cruisers and 3 destroyers versus 1 lone Mogami. The Mogami is full health. The Mogami, I don't know what he was doing this entire time. And we also are in Kraken Unleashed. Very nice. Now, obviously, the Mahan was not firing, which possibly means he's dropping torpedoes. Now, normally, whenever you take out a ship, you don't really think about it. You just continue on, and you don't think about any possibility of torpedoes. But in this instance, as you will see, it was actually a good thing I actually thought about those torpedoes, because had I go down this battle may have gone very, very differently. We'll see. But obviously there are torpedoes. Going to go ahead, slow up, turn away, let those torpedoes pass. We still have the engine boost on for another 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So if we need to, we can try to get over to C. Now our team has captured A, B. There is about 10 minutes left in the match. So this match has gone for actually quite a while. So it's not likely we are going to actually... the match is going to end before we're not able to take out this Hakaym. But our friendly team's actually pushing out against this Hakaym. But as you can see, a lot of our destroyers are actually very, very low on health. The friendly Alba's low on health. And we do have a friendly Benson that is just putting on the fuel and steaming all the way up north to take on this Hakaym. Now the Hakaym has taken a few hits. More than likely, he is aware that there is a possible torpedo incoming, so he's probably maneuvering as best as possible. And unfortunately for us, pretty much our team's very low in health. I'm probably actually the healthiest. Actually, no, the Benson's technically full health, but I have more health than the Benson and have a little bit more armor than the Benson as well. Now, the Hakaym, I try and think if he has the 155 mils or the 203. I'm gonna guess. Let's actually quickly take control of the camera. I don't know if I can zoom in. There we go. I can actually zoom in. Let's see what he has. Now, obviously, I'm going for C. I want to make sure that the enemy team does not continue on gaining points. It looks like he is running the 203s, which means he will have a slower reload, and it looks like he just took out our friendly Shiratsu, which is unfortunate. And all that's left on our team is that Alba, that Benson, and that Shinonome. Now, the Charles Martel, being a stock, only has a range of 16 kilometers, and as you can see, the Hakaym is constantly pushing north and is just outside my range ever so slightly. So even if he comes within that 16 kilometers, my shells aren't really going to land unless he decides to turn in. Now, it was a good decision on my part to actually capture C, especially if I need to run away, I can. We definitely have a points advantage compared to the enemy team. We have all 3 caps. The Hakaym, I have to give credit. He, albeit being full health at the very end of the match, does actually a good job. So I give you praise, dear sir. There we go. Captured the C cap. And now we will continue on. Let's see if we can assist our friendly team. Unfortunately for us, our engine boost just went down. And the Hakaym is currently focusing on the friendly Alba. The Alba is way too low on health. And probably just one good hit from the Hakaym, the Alba is going to be going down. Now, the Benson did actually follow us up from C. And he's going to try to assist as well. We have just lost our Shinonome. But yeah, once again, high praise to this Hakaym captain. He actually did a really good job. Took out the Alba. I'm actually kind of curious how many kills he has. 3 kills. I'm actually fairly full on health. Do switch over to the AP, hoping that he'd show me a broadside. The Benson's opening up. Right now would be a fantastic shot, but I misjudged the aim, and I'm actually slightly behind. And the Benson does take out the Hakaym. So our team earned a victory. We received 373,950 silver, 8,727 XP. We earned Confederate and Kraken Unleashed. We only did around 59,975, but the majority of the damage was against destroyers, so obviously destroyers don't have that much health compared to some other ships, but overall not too bad. We were top of the team with a base XP of 2,281. So major damage was once again mostly destroyers. We took out majority of the destroyers' health. We were able to stop them in their tracks. We took out 4 of their destroyers. So overall not too bad. The only one I don't think we got was the Ognovoy. I think he was actually killed off by the Kiev. So overall, not too bad. Let's actually quickly take a look at the stats. I will see you guys in port. Alright everyone, welcome back to the port, and I have to say I like the Charles Martel so far. Definitely does suck getting up tiered, but that's usually what you would expect as far as tier 8. Just do your best, you should be fine. Let's actually quickly take a look at the stats. Survivability, you have 30,800 points of health, which is alright. It's stock, it's normal. Armor is 25 to 140 millimeters. Once again, you have that very characteristic version of the Citadel where you do have spaced armor, so you do have a little spacing between. Cannot really... I haven't had the best luck. I always tend to get Citadel. I always have good luck as far as Citadeling French cruisers. So I don't find that the additional spaced armor is truly that different, per se. I'm sure someone probably has tested this out. But as far as what I've experienced, you still get Citadel fairly easily. Torpedo protection is 16%. Artillery, you have 3 main guns, triple turrets each. Which is actually really nice. You have 203 millimeters. They have a 12-second reload time. The turn time on the guns are a little bit slow, 26.9 seconds. Not the absolute worst, but is definitely slow, especially compared a little bit faster than the Megamis, but it does seem like it does take a while, and especially if you are turning at high speed, your guns tend to pull away from the marker. Max dispersion is 133 meters, which is pretty decent. HE damage right now is 2,800 with a 17% fire chance, and that is obviously with flags as well as demolition expert. The AP damage is 4,800 and it has a 16-kilometer range, which is really good because being able to put down range a whole bunch of HE shells and causing fires is just what the French really are good at. Shell velocity is a little bit slow, 820 meters per second, so they have a little bit of loftiness to them. Nothing compared to the American ships, but they do have a bit of loftiness to them. Now, you do have secondary guns. You have 5 dual 100 millimeters. Once again, if you're actually seeing these, you're probably a little bit too close, and hopefully it's just close enough for a destroyer, but hopefully not against a battleship. Max HE damage is 1,400 with a 8% fire chance and a 5.3 kilometer range. But once again, hopefully you won't be using your secondaries all too often. Torpedoes really... Yeah, once again, they don't change for the French. 90-second reload time, 6 seconds on the turn time, 14,833 points of damage, 9-kilometer range, 60 knots. Not a lot has changed for the torpedoes. They're very similar throughout these lines. AA defense is alright at stock. It's definitely will improve once you get the upgrade for the B hull. But right now you have 8 single 20 millimeters, 29 average damage, 2-kilometer range. Then you have 4 dual 37 millimeters. Average damage is 48. I kind of like the look of that. It's actually kind of interesting that it's offset like that. Anyway, 3.5 kilometer range. Then you have 4 single 40 millimeters. They have an average damage of 30 with a 3.5 kilometer range. And secondaries also offer additional AA. Average damage is 34 with a 5-kilometer range. So AA is decent, especially if you run AA Madness. Really does help against those airplanes. So you can protect yourself. You could even possibly offer some additional support for friendly battleships or destroyers. So do offer assistance whenever possible. Now, obviously, the main thing is her speed, 34.1 knots, which is pretty decent for a cruiser. But with her engine boost, she can actually reach 40 knots, which is fantastic. I'm trying to think if I actually am running the speed flag on here. I'm actually kind of curious if I am. I do know that I was running low on the speed flags. Looks like yes, I am. So this is with the speed flag. With the additional boost, 40 knots, really nice. She's a fast cruiser. She's obviously the fastest with that engine boost, but even without it, overall pretty average. I would say she's very comparable to the New Orleans. as far as the normal speed without the Sierra Mike flag on her. Turning circle radius 690 meters, kind of big. Not the worst. Obviously not the best either. Rudder shift time is a lazy 11 seconds. Won't see a decrease on that rudder shift time till you upgrade to the B-hole. But that's going to be a little bit before getting that. I will talk about that in just a second. Concealment is not bad. 10.5. Definitely a lot better than the Algerie. And obviously my captain does have concealment expert. I do always recommend concealment expert. Is truly beneficial. There are a few cases where I don't recommend it, or just something else you could get besides that. But for a cruiser, having that ability to actually slip away really is proving beneficial when you're up tiered against tier 10s. And detectability range by air is 6.5 kilometers. Now moving on to the modules. Once again, not much has changed, but what I would recommend, and as you can see, I'm actually starting to work on the Charles Martel, is going for the range increase. The range increase is 17.6 kilometers, and then going over to the B-hole. Now, this is a little bit different compared to the Algerie. The Algerie only had the range increase and the B-hole. The Charles Martel, once you get the B-hole, which does increase your AA, your health, as well as your rudder shift time, you go for the increase to your guns. Now this is actually really nice. This upgrade will give you a reduction on your reload time down to 10 seconds, decrease the return time on the guns to 23.4 seconds, and increase the AP damage. But there's actually one little hidden stat that it does not show you here. If you go over here to artillery, you should look over the guns, look at the shell velocity. Shell velocity actually increases by 25 meters per second, bringing it up to 845 for the AP, 876 for the HE. Very beneficial, actually a stat you would not know otherwise, so actually makes your guns a little bit more dangerous, faster reload, and actually faster travel time as far as the initial shell velocity. Moving on to the captain. Well, honestly, there's not much change. I believe I got 1 point in between recording the Algerie and the Charles Martel. So very, very similar between the two. Still working on the captain. He still has 5 more points before he actually reaches a tier, the top tier as far as 19 points. A 19-point captain is concerned. But anyways, this is going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you do want to actually keep up with me, do like my Twitter page. Follow me. I try to tweet every once a day. Have been actually recently talking about cutting off my hair, which is actually, well, rather a shell shock for me. It's been about 10 years since I've actually gone this short. And also do take a look at Facebook. I do try to update and let you guys know what is currently happening, as well as potential live streams that may be occurring. So do take a look at those. The links are down in the description below. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jen.